Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Tonight we are starting part 2 of the meat curing chamber process videos. So if you haven't yet, go back, watch the video. Creamy Dave and I converted a mini fridge into a home curing chamber for like meats, cheeses, even wine fridge. It's a very, very simple thing to do. That video is here on the channel. You should be able to find that no problem. Tonight, tomorrow, we're gonna, because this is a 2-step process here to make the meat mixture that becomes salami. So what you're gonna need for this, 4 pounds of venison, something like that. I'm using white-tailed deer, but you could use elk, you could use moose, you could use not black bear. You risk of trick with black bear, but all that kind of stuff. And then a pound of pork fat back, salt, Instacure, black pepper. You're gonna need your FRM 52 or TSPX starter. And the recipe we're following is from Buck Moose, Hank Shaw. And I'll link his website down below. I'll link this recipe down below. His recipe online shows using all pork shoulder for the main meat, and the recipe in the book shows venison. So should be fine. Hank really knows his shit. So first step is to take all of our meat. Remove all the fat, all the silver skin, chunk it so that we can put that through the grinder. That's going to go in one container. Then we're going to finely dice a half a pound of the 4 pounds. It's going to go in a container. We're going to finely dice a quarter pound of the fat. It's going to go in a third container. And then the cubed fat, which I already have from the pig I butchered myself, is going to go in the last container. So here. You're going to need a scale to measure, and then you're going to need something that will measure grams and ounces. I am using almost exclusively venison sirloin cuts for this, the full sirloin. So that's the cut I'm using. You can use any cut you'd like. I like sirloin because it's a little firmer texture than like a tenderloin or a backstrap. So that's what I'm using for meat. Using my meat crafter knife on this project. This knife is perfect for this kind of stuff. It's really good shape, but it's not super thick. Hopefully you can see that in here. So it's still got some flex to it for like removing silver skin. So I've washed my hands, I've washed my cutting board really, really well. There was one piece that I used of a front shoulder just to give even a little bit more texture. So hopefully So anything like this is all going to junk up your grinder, and you really don't want to bite into something like that in a salami. I'm gonna do this recipe makes a 5-pound batch. I'm gonna let one cure for about 4 weeks. We have a friend coming from Cincinnati, so I'm making this in part for her, in part just to see how it comes out. Close to a half a pound with that. This bucket's going to be really finely diced. So for this, now if you guys watched my carne asada video, you'll see a really easy way to dice like veggies and stuff. I'm going to do this pretty much the same way. I'm going to cut all these little strips here, and then I'm just going to... Now, one thing that I would absolutely recommend is that you want to work with really cold meat. I would say that's pretty finely diced. The whole point of the finely diced is that it's going to give your salami a little different texture throughout the whole meat, or throughout the whole, sausage.
So he recommends anywhere from a half to 2/3. And this is somewhere in between a half and 2/3 a pound. It's probably pretty close to 2/3 of a pound. The point of this video is to show you guys that you can make homemade, charcuterie. It's not impossible to do with at-home equipment, materials. And my family being from Italy, and this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Something I decided to finally take a chance on. So I'm going to let one sausage cure for 4 weeks. I'm going to let one cure for 6 weeks. And I'll let one cure for 8 weeks. Alright, we got all of that heat up. Stack this in here for a second. Pork fat here. And just need to measure out a quarter pound. This is my 1 pound pork fat. Alright, So we've got our 51 grams of salt. Now we need our 6 grams of Insecure number 2. This is also known as prog powder, and this is basically what helps prevent nasty, yucky bacteria from growing as we ferment our sausage. So, okay. Now I tared this out with the cup on there, so that's why it's showing 98.5 and not 51. So 98.5 and 6 grams would be 104.5. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so there's our 6 grams of Insecure and our 51 grams of salt. Now, I'm going to double check this. I'm going to grab this. Okay. And put that on there. I'm going to hit my tare. It's going to 0. And when I add this, it should be 51 grams. Or 57 grams. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So next step, we're going to mix this up. We're going to sprinkle it in with all the meat. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out some natural hog casings. We're going to let them soak in some warm water while we mix up the spice blend. Okay, so there's our all natural hog casings, 38 to 42 millimeters wide. We'll let those soak over here while we get the rest of this stuff going. First, so we need 1/3 cup of red wine. Quarter cup of distilled water. And black pepper. Some fresh rosemary off my new rosemary plant. So what's the point of having a rosemary plant if you're not going to use it? through the large grinder, and then we're going to do about half through the small die. All this mixed up. Stop that right there. This part always sucks. Alright, so that's the end of our grinding step. So this is going to go back in the freezer. The real thing with this is keeping everything cold. That's what helps it go through the grinder so nice. I need to upgrade this though. Okay, so that sound tells you the culture's still alive in there. And that is very, very important. $20 grams. We're gonna let this dissolve in the water over here. Alright, so we are ready to mix. So we're gonna add in our diced fat. Okay. Add that in. And in our diced meat. Okay. That's all added in there. We're going to add in the rest of our black pepper. And anything else that was in our mix there. Add in our starter culture. Oh my god, Aaron, that can't be open right now. I need this to stay cool. Can you just give me a second? Culture and our red wine. Okay. Now no fancy butterfly knot for me because I can't tie one. So you don't really need it for this. You're just securing that. We're going to leave a little tail there. Actually, no, we're not, because we can tie off to that. Okay, so we're ready to stuff. Alright, so grinding and stuffing is complete. That's the finished salamis there. So we're going to go, I'm going to get everything set up downstairs to hang them in the meat curing chamber. Alright, so here's what we got. Some homemade one-buys. Butcher's twine and our sausages. So what I'm going to do, we got this. I can put those on there like that. So there we go. That's it. They're all hanging. Got my temps all set.
I will post periodic updates as we go through this process, but for now I got to get back to work. So till next time, tight lines, tight chains, shoot straight.